Hi everyone, I'm Alex from Team 2. We interviewed with Salesforce, a company that offers cloud services and platforms that bring customers and companies together. Salesforce's four core values are trust, customer success, innovation, and equality. Core to the company culture is Ohana, or family culture, under which people collaborate, have fun, and take care of each other. For our project, we looked into how motivation, feedback, and conflict resolution influence employee performance. Motivation is the baseline for great performance. To motivate its employees, Salesforce focuses on employee well-being and community. For example, there are meditation rooms on every floor of the Salesforce tower. All Salesforce employees get 7 paid days a year to volunteer for whatever cause they like. Volunteering not only allows employees to give back to the community, but also supports well-being. Feedback is essential to helping employees learn and grow. Salesforce values constant and data-driven feedback. Using numbers instead of subjective feelings makes it easy for employees to give constructive feedback without personal bias. Salesforce uses a model called V2MOM to align priorities and resolve team conflicts. The acronym stands for Vision, Values, Methods, Obstacles, and Measures. All individuals and teams at Salesforce have V2MOMs that are visible to everyone at the company. In order to elaborate upon our findings and how they apply to all teamwork, we figure it's best to view a set of scenarios through the lens of a team. The team, Lena, Alexander, Richad, Anna, and Victor, is meant to represent a typical team environment. Each of the following 3 scenarios will pertain to events in their team. And now, Hannah will walk you through each of those 3 scenarios.
Thanks, Alex. Now let's look at the first scenario, the unmotivated team member. You have noticed for a couple of months that one of your teammates, Alexander, has been out of energy and is highly unmotivated. He hasn't been replying to group chats and is zoned out during meetings. Even his last presentation was lower quality. You and your team decide to ask if anything is wrong, and he opens up about how he is struggling with mental health. You realize that everyone brushed off the situation and never took mental health into consideration. There are ways to help the situation or even prevent it earlier on. First, it is essential to create a team contract that focuses on promoting a psychologically safe zone. This can be done by being more aware of mental health and developing close relationships with teammates. As we learned from our Salesforce research, it's important to talk openly about mental health within your team. This could mean implementing a rule in the contract that states a mental day off from work is as essential as taking a sick day off. Next, it is important to emphasize team bonding in your contract. Go on team outings together in the city or outdoors in order to create a friendship outside of work. Developing true relationships and giving teammates room to be human will result in a more motivated team with higher performance. Now, let's go into our second scenario, the underperforming team member. In this scenario, we see that Lena and Anna are presenting their sections for the next team deliverable. However, while Lena's work is impeccable, Anna's looks very bad and confusing. It shows that she didn't put much effort into it. Lena is very disappointed with Anna's work, but doesn't feel comfortable giving her feedback because feedback just wasn't part of their team culture. This problem is very common in teams. Sometimes it can feel awkward to provide feedback, but that can result in creating inefficient teams and allows problems to escalate. Based on our interviews with Salesforce, we learned that giving feedback should be regular. Frequent feedback addresses problems immediately and also gives an opportunity for employees to change their behaviors. With time, this will create a culture in which giving and receiving feedback becomes more natural. For our future teams, we recommend creating a culture of frequent feedback. This can be done by setting aside 10 minutes every week just for feedback. With this method, everyone has dedicated time to voice their thoughts. Now, moving on to our final scenario, your team goals are not aligned. In this scenario, Victor and Richard have misaligned goals that are negatively affecting the team's dynamic and the overall performance. Victor wants to create a high-quality project that he can attach to his resume. However, Richard isn't very interested in the assignment and just wants the team to get by with minimum effort. This conflict has increased feelings of inequality among team members, which has decreased team cohesion and motivation. From class, we know that in order for a team to perform well, they need to first form mutually agreed upon goals and expected behaviors. This agreement is necessary for them to form team norms and eventually become a high-performing team. From our interviews with Salesforce, we recommend implementing the V2 MOM because it serves as a good method of creating alignment of goals and expectations. Now we can see through Victor and Richad's individual V2 MOMs. Victor values performance and accountability. Richad values low stress and has a vision for the marketing section. With this information shared between the group, they are able to create mutually agreed upon goals and expected behavior. Richad can take control of the marketing section and also agree to produce high-quality work by a certain day in advance. This would allow Richad to maintain a low-stress work environment while providing Victor with increased accountability and motivation to perform. Whether your team is in Core at Questrom or is within Salesforce, all of these scenarios are possible. Frequent and healthy communication is the base of all teams. As a result of our findings, we have identified 3 recommendations that will help mitigate these scenarios for your future teams. First, remember to include mental health and outings into the team contracts. When writing contracts or setting team norms, it's important to incorporate team-building opportunities to foster better motivation and team buy-in. Secondly, establish 10 minutes each week dedicated just for feedback. This will encourage effective feedback and give team members time to speak as well. And lastly, everyone should align values and goals within the team using the V2 MOM model. Everyone lists their visions, values, methods, obstacles, and measures. These recommendations will help in team scenarios like the ones we saw and more. It's time to say goodbye to your virtual team and hello to your team in the real world.